Good morning, everybody. All right, so this is going to be part two of the worm video. I need to hurry up and get out here. It's raining today and get this clip done. But as you can kind of see, I like to keep my videos a little bit more on the instruction side than the short side, just because I'm using it. I make these videos mostly for the DIYers like myself, who looks for a little bit more instruction on these videos. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and continue in. I've now sifted all of the worm castings out from the worms the best I can, and now I'm going to start separating the food from them. But anyways, let's go ahead and send it. All right, what's going on, everybody? So I've been at probably almost 10 gallons now. Once I finish that 5-gallon over there, this will be kind of gone through 10 gallons. This is what I do. Basically, I'll put a little bit of material into here. I'll shift it out. I'll walk you through this process real fast. It's about it. Low to mid 80s out here, and you're on November 1st, and I'm building up a little sweat here, so please forgive me. But you just I'm just shifting it on this little shifter I made. Nothing really crazy, just a 1/4 inch to allow any of the small stuff to get through and keep the big stuff up top, obviously. And then once I kind of go through it a little bit, then I just poke at it a little bit, tilt it up. And basically, once I get everything to the end closest to you guys, then I pretty much call it a wrap. Just not trying to overdo it. If I put a little too much, I'll actually go through this process twice on one load. But I'll just demonstrate that to you just in case, just so you see it. Obviously, nothing too crazy. Just doing it a little bit more. Again, I just kind of poke from the bottom a little bit till it all kind of works towards the edge. Definitely time consuming, so and it seems like I haven't had much of that recently. I go from one thing to another, and then just things keep getting in my way, but it's all good. All right, so then when I get, you can tell I still got quite a bit of, all this black stuff is super wet. It's just clumping up and not going through. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that, because I would like to maximize and pull, do maximum extract, but at the same time I haven't had much time lately. So while I'm off camera, basically going through the next, I probably got another 12 gallons, 12, 13 gallons to shift through. Once I get done with that, then I'll probably have a plan on what to do. But until then, let me just finish this up. Nothing simple here, just kind of dump all the big stuff into here, and then you can kind of see what's left here is now, I'm getting some black soldier flies in here still, that's cool. But for the most part, it's just very small, perfect, good for great worm castings, nice and wet for my compost tea. And so this is great. And then yeah, I just basically I'm going to keep doing this until I get done with it. And then when I get done with it, I'll come back to you guys. All right, so I need to correct something, and then let me show you the yield. All right, so for two things here. One thing that I actually learned. So I said I would only go through that one time, and then really I was basically shifting it and bouncing it at least 2 to 3 times sometimes, depending if I put a little too much. Now, so I corrected myself on that. Now, here's another thing. Kind of like I sabotage myself on this, but you know what? I learned something, so that's a pretty good thing. And then that means I get to pass it on to you. Look how much cardboard is in the bottom of my in the bottom of my shifter here. It's probably easily 40 to 50% covered. This is what was happening, and I believe this is what was highly affecting my yield, although it was pretty good. I mean, you can still tell there's a lot of black gold in here. That's, all that wet black in there you see is the worm castings that just wasn't basically shifting through here. So lesson learned, don't do the cardboard or paper like I did. But yeah, so let's check this out. So this, I corrected myself, or I think I said on an earlier clip that this was like an 18-gallon. It's really the 17-gallon. So almost, let's see here. So maybe I probably got 15, maybe almost 16 gallons worth of, let's just say stuff to deal with. And over here, I think I got maybe, you know what, I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and I have roughly about 2.5 to maybe 3 gallons worth of pure worm castings. Well, I guess not quite pure. With that, with some cardboard in there. But at least that I know that that's pretty good. Up, and this pincher bug. Let's get you out of there. All right, sorry about that for the camera, but I kind of have at least maybe I'm thinking of something here real quick. So we're gonna turn this worm casting video into a little extra, and let me show you right now. All right, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and I have actually 2 compost bins that are ready to harvest. So let's go ahead and harvest these real fast. That's empty now. All right. So you can see I got a pretty good harvest here. Now I'm going to literally go do the same thing that I just did with the worm castings. I'll do that off camera, and we'll see how much. Should get a little bit more percentage of yield out of this. This looks pretty good. All right, I'll see you then. I decided it would probably be beneficial for at least to see just at least 1 scoop. I'm kind of curious to see how well it's going to shift through. So just grabbing my shovel here. Gonna put now I'm gonna go a little bit more heavy since I'm anticipating most of this is gonna fall through, like it is already. So this should go a little bit faster than what I was just doing. And I forgot to mention another reason why I like doing the tapping part is because it helps me find the worms. Probably not all the time, but I think it does most of the time. So when I went through those 23 gallons worth of worm castings, I think I found probably about like maybe 30 worms, and some are even kind of sticking at me already that were coming from there. So let me go ahead and get these guys out of here because I would rather not have them go through the shifter. All right, let's see what we get. I know that's not going. Just gonna go kind of soft until it kind of settles. And then, yeah, you can just kind of see how much this goes through. And I'm already seeing worms go through. Just seeing lots of worms go through, actually. Hopefully they went right through and it wasn't too abusive for them. And I'll explain why I'm putting them back into the, oh wow, there's a lot falling out. All right, okay, well, let's go ahead and tap through here now. Same process. I'll do this 1 to 2 times, but I'll probably go till I'm really sure that it's mostly just big stuff, because since the there's a worm, since it's all going through pretty fast, you know, it's number one, it's a little bit more pleasing too when the system's working. You know, everyone gets a little frustrated when it's not going as planned, but hey, you know what? That's just life. You just keep sticking to it. You'll get through it. All right, let's go ahead and shift again. Here's some worms up here. All right, I tell you what, I think I'm gonna switch it up. I think they, since the other one wasn't going that good, I didn't want you guys to sit through the pain that I was going through. But since this is going a lot better, let's go ahead and cue the music and turn on the time lapse. right, I got a heaping 5 gallons worth, a little extra, and these worms are literally spewing over the brim here. Get in back in there, you guys. Well, try to save as many of these as I can, but won't bother you guys with that. All right, so for the next step, let's go ahead and set up. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do compost. Now, part of the compost and what I'm going to do in order to kind of, let's just say, reclaim some of that massive amounts of excess of the worm castings, I'm going to kind of explain what I'm going to do. All right, so I've kept these buckets closed because basically they've been full of food anywhere up to a couple of months, so I don't necessarily need to see that for you to see that. So I'm going to put in 2 of those. So each side here can hold about 30 gallons, typically, as long as it's compressed well enough. So, and with that, what I'll generally do is I'll put 10 gallons of food, which is basically nitrogen, and then carbon, which I'm going to be using some grass and some microcut paper as part of it. I'm going to go ahead and put that in, and then I'll show you what else I'm going to be doing. On every time that I put basically 5 gallons of food and then 5 gallons of nitrogen, 5 gallons of carbon, I put 2 cups full of normally of rock dust, and also, and this is volcanic rock dust right here. Let me just kind of give you a side view here, and then also of this is ash from the fireplace. Now, I have this ash, and I also have this ash, and we are going into winter, so I need to be a little bit more aggressive. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use basically the rest of this, and on this particular batch, and we'll just go from there. As a matter of fact, I may even use some more. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But so basically, what we're going to have is we're going to have roughly. Well, let's start in order. Hey, girls, how you guys doing today? They are down 1 chicken. The chickens are not producing eggs anymore, so we are in the process of switching over to baby chicks. But anyway, so I'm gonna basically evenly split this on the bottom. So like I said, this is 17 gallons. So roughly, let's just say I'm gonna be putting just under 9 gallons on each side. So I'm first going to start off by doing that, and I'm just not going to play around. I'm going to split that up and put that in first, and then I'm going to go ahead and start doing my basically 5 gallons of food, nitrogen, 5 gallons of carbon, do my rock dust in that, and then we'll just kind of finish it up and see how we go there. So there's really no good place for me to kind of put the camera at, so I'm actually going to put you over here looking over my back, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put you in time lapse right now. Everybody, so that's going to wrap up this video. Now it's just the process of letting the composter go ahead and do its thing, and to be honest, it's an experiment. I'm not sure how, since I put in so much of the leftovers from the worm castings, how that's going to affect it. I put in it came out to I didn't necessarily compress it, but it came out to roughly almost 10 gallons of the 5 gallons each two 5 gallons in each one, so we'll see how it goes. Then you saw I like to stuff it up with more carbon, and that's only because I would rather have more carbon than more nitrogen, because if you get too much nitrogen, then you start to smell. If you are, let's just say, being a little delinquent and you're not making sure it has water, and you're not aerating it, that's why I got the tumbler to kind of just go over there every few days and aerate it. Then it starts to smell. I've never really had that problem. So I might just be overly cautious on this, but so far my process is working for me, so no reason to change it right now. But I got these washed down here. It smelled bad when I was opening some of them. One of the very first one almost had me gag. That was pretty bad. But that's because it's anaerobic. As soon as it goes aerobic and it starts, that's why you saw me. That's why every time I do my compost, I'm kind of getting ate up by the flies today. That's why every time you saw me put in some a next batch, I was always kind of like tumbling it. That's for two reasons. Number one, to aerate it, and also it's to just kind of get it mixed up so it kind of sits flat, because I just, that way when basically has settled to the bottom, that way I can really just compress it, with a lot of extra carbon, which you saw me basically dumping in all that paper. Now the good thing is I basically did that. I'm getting all this free great compost off of just scraps, food scraps and junk mail, and it's voting season coming to an end, thank God. But it has been giving me quite a lot of mail to go ahead and shred. So all that, I'm gonna basically, as long as it's not too glossy and it's just, pretty much just paper, it's gonna be going in my compost. But anyways, I think that'll cover it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's good to be getting back and getting some videos. Got some more things coming up, and I got a little surprise. Hopefully everything gets kind of locked down next weekend. If it goes down, then I'll go ahead and record it and I'll show you what happens, but I don't want to get my hopes up. It looks good though. But anyways, I'll see you then.